everyone, and welcome to New 50 TV. My name is Taiwo, and for those of you that don't know me, I am a coach, a trainer and a writer. I'm also the founder and CEO of the New 50, which is aimed at people who are approaching or at midlife and who are looking to reconnect with their passion, step out of their comfort zone so that they can feel empowered enough to make choices about the way they create the next chapter of their lives. Would you like to introduce yourself, Lorraine?
Of course, yes, I'm Lorraine Palmer. I'm a raw food and vegan chef, coach, mentor and also author. And what I do, I basically support people who want to eat more raw foods, or if raw foods isn't for you because of your body constitution maybe, then I can help you if you want to adopt a vegan lifestyle. So that's what I do.
Can you explain, for some people out there won't quite know what being a vegan means? What does that mean?
Okay, there's two ways you can look at it, I think. For me, being a vegan, it means living a lifestyle that doesn't cause any harm or cruelty to animals, which is as far as possible and practical for what you eat, or what you may put on your body, or maybe what you wear as well. So we're looking at clothing, yes, we're looking at food, we're looking at creams, potions, oils, whatever, the whole thing. But there are some people who call themselves a vegan and are just talking about the food aspect, whereas there is a more global definition regarding veganism.
Okay, and your business, does that promote the veganism in its entirety, or is it just around the food aspect?
For my business, it's purely about the food, but if people are interested in the other aspects of veganism, then yes, I will totally embrace that as well. Okay. Because some people I find are not ready for that. Yeah. They just want to eat more plant-based foods, and that's where the veganism comes in, because they're going to be abstaining from dairy, they're going to be abstaining from, things like eggs and honey as well. That's always a bit of a contentious issue. So yeah, it's byproducts from an animal as well as the meat side as well.
Right, okay. So you are a vegan and you eat raw. Are you a raw vegan permanently, or do you eat raw food?
For me, I would say first and foremost, I'm definitely a vegan, meaning I don't eat anything that comes from an animal.
Right.
Whether it's meat, fish, or any offal, or any byproducts. So we're talking eggs, we're talking milk, we're talking things that you can make with all that, like your cheese and your cream and your butter and what have you. So it's the whole caboodle really. And when I talk about raw foods, I do eat high raw, which what I mean by that is there may be some days that I'll just eat pure raw foods, and maybe one day I'll eat some cooked foods, maybe my evening meal, maybe raw. It just varies. Right. I'm not strict with myself, I'm quite fluid. Yeah. But first and foremost, definitely vegan, because I just don't want any animal products inside my body anymore, since I kind of know what goes on in the meat industry.
Okay. So how long have you been a vegan?
I would say about 5 years, but it hasn't been like plain sailing becoming vegan. I haven't had one of those nice sort of history of vegetarian then vegan and everything's fine. No, it didn't work that way for me.
Okay, how did it work?
Well, to be honest, I found my eating habits changing because I went through the menopause at an earlier age than usual. Okay. Because I had a hysterectomy. Okay. Which took away my womb. My ovaries were still left, so basically I had what is called a subtotal hysterectomy. Okay. And first year was great, no periods, brilliant. And then it just felt like a whole year had just gone by, and then boom, I got menopause symptoms. I went straight into the menopause then after just 1 year of just feeling fine. Right. And then my symptoms were quite bad. I had the mood swings, I had the vaginal atrophy, I had the hot flushes, the night sweats, crawling skin, and that's basically a feeling of something's crawling on your arm. You can't see it, but you just feel it. And that was kind of eerie. And I just felt, I really want to make myself feel a lot better than what I am, but I didn't want to use HRT, hormone replacement therapy. I didn't want to be relying upon a pill, so to speak, or going to the doctor to prescribe something for me, and then I had to take it for so long. Yeah. I wanted to be more in control of my own body in terms of how I felt. So it was a late night on the internet, and I know we all do that. I just found raw foods, and I thought, wow, what's this concept? People actually just eat raw foods purely. So what I basically did is done my research, as you do, and then I thought, I'm going to try this. And I did, and I really saw a difference in my menopause symptoms. Right. But at the same time though, which may be odd for some people, I was still eating meat. I was just eating high raw.
Right.
And then on days I would eat pure raw. But then when I go out for a meal, then I look at the menu, and then I think, okay, yeah, I'll have the shrimp or the prawns, whatever. I was seduced, so to speak. And for me, it was a case of raw sometimes, but still eating the meat. I didn't make a conscious decision then to just eat plant-based foods. So I had like an up and down thing. I was high raw, some days just eating meat,
right,
then raw again, and then I was vegetarian maybe, and then something happened in me. I just kind of got that feeling of, this doesn't make sense. I know that eating plant-based is good for me, so why don't I just do this fully?
Right.
You know, and there were other things happening in my life as well. I was becoming a bit more deeper in my spirituality as well.
Right.
I was practicing a bit of yoga as well. I just wanted to feel lighter in my body.
Right.
So I just kept on remembering, all the times you eat plant-based foods, Lorraine, you feel better.
Right.
And I just thought, you know what, it's a no-brainer. So that's when I decided to just fully just go vegan and just feel better all the time rather than some of the time.
Okay, thank you. And so you said that you had quite extreme menopausal symptoms, and the raw food really helped them?
Definitely. Do you know what? I just saw like, it was, I'm not going to say it was overnight, but it was a feeling of, gosh, I feel so much better now. And I'm talking like more like months than like weeks, because it had to be consistent.
Right.
It wasn't like a little up, down. For me, in order to see a change, it had to be consistent. So I would say it took me a good few months to start seeing a difference, because don't forget, there were certain foods that I still had in my body from before. I hadn't totally detoxed.
Yes.
Because anytime you start eating very cleaner foods, then you are detoxing.
That's right, yes.
Not that you're saying you're on a detox or you're doing it, but you are detoxing your body. You're getting rid of all the toxins. So all the gunge, probably the plaque that I've had in my arteries and in my intestines and what have you. You know, I can imagine they were still there, even though I was eating great. But at some point, you know, a few months down the line, a few years, then I just started to feel the benefits. But it's definitely months.
Right.
But like now, fine.
Right. And did you feel any kind of emotional detox going on at the same time?
Do you know what? What was happening to me was I just started to feel more of a clearer headspace.
Right.
Clarity. This is probably going to sound weird to some people, but when you start eating cleaner, and when I talk about, because cleaner has a lot of different definitions, but for me, eating cleaner is going back to more what nature has intended the food to look like.
Okay.
So a carrot will look like a carrot when you're eating it, not all mushed up with everything else, and it's got preservatives and additives and it's processed to the hill that it doesn't resemble what it is. But when you start eating food that is a bit more natural, in terms of you're not cooking it to nothing.
Yeah.
For some reason you're getting more dense nutrients, and those nutrients are giving you some kind of life force energy, especially if you're eating a lot of greens, so you're getting the chlorophyll.
Right.
And then when you're having all this food, somehow there's a spark that goes on. You just get some clarity in your mind, and you start looking at the world differently. You start thinking that, wow, this is happening, but it's not the whole picture. There's other things going on as well. And you start realizing that, you know, you've been sold a lie in a way. It can get deep, this conversation, but just for the surface and the purpose of this, you do get a bit more lighter in your head. You're not weighed down with a lot of woes and what have you.
Right.
You feel a sense of, you kind of know what's going on. You're a bit more like you're taking part in life. You're more present with life. Because I felt that probably the food that I was eating was just dumbing me down. Yeah. Because it was probably high sugar, high salt, highly processed as well. And those things weren't making my body feel good and active, and my mind active. It was just keeping me like this. Yeah. So it's as if I was going through a stage of being a chrysalis, and now I'm a butterfly. Yeah. By eating all that nice, good food. Yeah.
Why would I come to you?
Right. It depends. It could be, I kind of mainly look at women, because my background was obviously I went through the menopause, and I really want to share my story and also help those women, because I know a lot of the time they're really suffering badly with their menopause symptoms. So a woman may come to me maybe in her mid-50s, say, and she's obviously going through the menopause, she's going through the transition, and she's just feeling really crap. She may be having the mood swings, she may be having the crawling skin, she just may be feeling that she's not really taking part in life as she would like to, and she doesn't have the energy, she just feels very lethargic. And then she'll come to me and say, Lorraine, I just want to feel better in my body. Yes. And I'll go, okay then, and then what I'll say to her is, let me see what you're eating, what's your lifestyle like, so I'll get a picture of, you know, what they eat. So I might ask them to fill out a particular template that I normally send them, and then they'll send that back to me, and I'll have a look at it, and instantly I can see where some things that I can obviously advise them on will benefit them in the future. And also instantly, because if they make certain tweaks and are willing to actually change the way they also look at food as well and prepare it, they can have some instant wins. But it's whether that person's ready. But if I'm being honest, a lot of women that come to me, they are ready, because they've got to that phase where they feel, I can't do this anymore, and I just feel really bad in myself, and I just want to feel a lot better. I want to just embrace life, because people say when you're going through the menopause, you can either look at it one way or the other. Either you're going to feel like it's the end of the thing. Yeah. No one wants to know about you. You know, you're on this, you're on the heap. You know, or you can look at it the other way. It's like, okay, I've got no periods anymore, I've got nothing to worry about, I'm not fearful I'm going to get pregnant or whatever, and I can just enjoy myself. But not everybody feels that way. But I always say, try and look at it as you're going through a transition, and it's up to you to make it what you feel you want it to be. Yeah. So if you feel you're not feeling too great and you feel that food would help, then yes, I can help with that. But interestingly enough, it's not always about food. You know, sometimes you have this scenario when you go to see someone, it's not always about that thing. Other things will come up as well. Yeah. So even though people come to me about the food thing, a lot of the time there are other things going on in their life which will come out as a result of taking care of their body more. Right. Because they're going to be more conscious of what they eat. So what will also happen, they're more conscious of how they're taking part in life. And they'll start thinking, do you know what, I might enjoy my job. Or I want to do something different, I want to do something more daring, or my grandkids are growing up and I can't play with them, or I don't feel great, so I might start going to the gym. So there's all sorts of things that start coming up as a result of eating better. Yeah. And I find that really amazing, and I just love it, just to see the light bulb go on sometimes. Yeah. But also there is that side of them that they feel, God, I wish I knew this before.
What would interest me, well, what interests me is how people find you. I mean, I found you through being a member of the Boss It Live tribe. Yes. And I know that you broadcast every Monday live. Yes. You show people how to make various raw
because I'm trying to make it accessible. Because what I do have a live stream show on Facebook, and my name is Vegan Raw Cooked, because I do cooked food as well. But this show is predominantly raw, because I feel that's an area people aren't really familiar with, how to make certain foods out of raw ingredients, so to speak, which they can still have their pizzas, they can still have their crisps, their cakes, their cheesecake, all these different things. So I thought, let me go with this one. This will open up a few, you know, smiling faces. So you can actually access me through Facebook, but I'm also on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I've got a YouTube channel, but there's not much activity there, but you can find me there still. I'm on Pinterest as well, and LinkedIn. So most of the main social media people can get me. And also I've got a website, which is lorrainepalmer.com. And you know, if you want to know a little bit about raw foods, I've got a sign up page that you can go on to, and actually if I access your email address, you can be kept involved what's going on with myself and with my book coming out. But also you get a little download that gives you a bit of an overview about raw foods if you're interested as well. Okay, so for the download they need to go to lorrainepalmer.com. Yeah, and that will give you a download that will tell you a bit about raw food. Raw foods. Yeah. And also, if they go to my Facebook page, there's a sign-in box as well that directs you to the same place as well. Okay. Yeah. So we can put the details in the comments. Yes. Oh yeah, definitely. Below. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you actually. Your time and your kitchen, because we're in Lorraine's kitchen. This is where I do my live streams. This is where she does her live streams. So now I'm here. I now know what the whole place looks like. You don't want to see over there. You do. Over there is quite nice actually. It looks all very kind of nice and healthy. That'll be the jars. So thank you very much, Lorraine. Welcome. And thank you too for watching this episode on the New 50 TV. Now, if you liked this, then click on the thumbs up and like it. Share it with anybody that you know that might be able to benefit from the discussion that we've had today. And if this is your first time on the New 50 TV, then please do subscribe to the channel. I'll put the details of how to make contact with Lorraine in the comments below, and I will see you again very soon.